What's up, guys? If you want to look this cool, you're probably going to need a 131 Low Rider S to do that. So what's up, guys? I'm Isaac here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson with your pre-owned bike of the week, this 2020 Harley-Davidson Low Rider S. When you take a bike that's as light and nimble and quick as a Milwaukee 8 Harley-Davidson Softail, you got a bike that's a lot of fun. But there's a fast way to make that bike more fun. That's going to be with suspension, motor work, a cool exhaust to make it sound good and put good power out, and a little bit of style. And this bike has all four. So what we've got here is a custom painted, let's see, right here, local artist, custom painted right there. It looks sharp, and it's a 131 stage 4 powered, going into a 2-to-1 HPI pipe, so one of the hottest pipes around right now. And all that with an Ohlins in the rear, and you're rocking almost 2 overs here with this bare knuckle performance extension. Oh, and look at that, we've also got some fancy new wheels, an aluminum skid plate, Lucky Dave seat, some one-piece T-bars, cool cowl. All great options here on this bike. Low plate. Yeah, this thing is sharp and it's ready to rip. And you've got some built well grips, and this thing, and that's pretty much everything that's aftermarket on this bike. All the add-ons you would want on your motorcycle if you were really setting up a low rider that was just ready to just absolutely rip out there, this one would be the one. And it's a 2020, so it's got a few cool little perks. So it did get the added on cruise control, so you've got that. So, I mean, if you've got a bike like this, you're gonna wanna go ride it hard and you're gonna wanna go ride it far. So with the cruise control, it's gonna make that a whole lot easier. But it's also a 2020, which is one of my favorite years for the Low Rider S, because you got the blacked out trim. You also had the little bit of bronze. This one doesn't have as much bronze on it because it's already got the ventilator air cleaner, and with the 131 heads, then you don't have quite as much bronze here, and with the swapped out wheels. But what it does have is it does have the dual gauge system, so which is one of my favorites. So you've got the dual gauges right here on the tank, and it's still a symmetrical tank. So this is the pseudo cap, and this is the actual real gas cap. And oh yeah, and you've got the matching flow peg set. So you've got it for the passenger, which it is equipped ready for, because with a bike like this, you're gonna be having a passenger at some point for sure. You've got the matching rider pegs, and you have the shifter peg. The only part you don't have is a brake lever, and I don't even know if there is a brake lever from Flow. So yeah, and it's sharp. So let's we're gonna crank it up, and we're gonna let you guys hear what this bike sounds like. Oh yeah. Let you hear that thing. Oh yeah, you'll get to hear this exhaust quite a bit over the next couple moments. So. Oh yeah. This thing is very responsive. I want to say the numbers on this bike are 127, 126, or at least 126 for the horsepower, 127 foot-pounds of torque. So, all on a bike that's kind of light. This whole time I've been very, very light on the throttle. I don't think I've gone over like this much. I have not done that, not put much in that on, not put much in that at all. That is a shame. This bike could blow some socks off of most anything on this highway right here. See, I love skinny bikes. I love tall, skinny bikes. And let's see, what is this? Oh. So it's a ripper, but it's also, you can also tour with it. I mean, I'm very comfortable. These are very comfortable bars for me. And I'm just cruising. Throw this thing up in 6th gear. 2,500 RPM, 70 miles an hour. This is perfect for the highway. And then if you've got a passing body, you got a little bit of passing power, I'd say. Not much of a windshield on this. You got the little cowl thing, so that kicks most of the wind up off your chest, but you're still catching it kind of just below the helmet. Yeah, so let's see, you got to pass somebody, and go ahead and fifth gear, get on a little bit. I mean, you can do whatever you need to on this thing. So a little nippy day today in old Raleigh. So the Low Rider S has phenomenal braking, especially with the front brake. I know some folks complain about mids with the rear brake, especially coming off of Bagger, because the Bagger and some of the forward control bikes, you just have a little bit more, you can get a little more leverage on that pedal. So some folks have done some things to get a little bit more leverage on for the rear brake on Softails, but it's not bad. Not too shabby, so we can get done what we need to. But just some things I'm noticing on this bike. It's really easy to navigate. A lot of cool things on it, and it rides great. That Ohlins in the rear is set up more on the, feels like it's set up a little bit more on the comfort side. So it's taking these, it's still giving you pretty good feedback, but it's taking up most of it. So I mean, it's a comfortable ride. I mean, I feel like you can get that dialed in, or at least that's the beautiful part about those shocks, is you can get them dialed into exactly how you want. So I got to go open this thing up for you guys here in just a second. But it is, I don't want to say sensitive, because it's usually a bad thing. Responsive is the right word. I mean, it'll do exactly what you want it to, and it's a 2020, so most of that safety stuff you don't need isn't on it. I think the only thing you have is ABS. There's no traction control. Yeah, ABS. So that's all you need. Oh, that's fast. It's hard to do what I need to, because I gotta hold on so hard up here on the front. Yeah, that'll dump some power out. I can't imagine anyone driving this thing would get good fuel economy. Actually, funny enough, I think just cruising around on the 131s isn't as bad as you would think it is. But of course, when you start really ripping it, and it'll let you know what's up. This Lucky Dave seat's nice. It's very firm. This one's firm, but it's very well broken in. So that's really nice. These road steer wheels feel fine. I mean, no, nothing crazy. They look really good on this bike though, because I feel like now, the year of this bike, the 2020, the year of this bike. Give these guys a little show. Holy cow. Trying to stay on the front. 127, that's enough. It's not like stupid, you know? Like, I feel like anything really over that on a bike this small is where it gets like dumb. Not dumb, but like definitely dumb fun. But, you know, definitely more I don't want to say unmanageable, but you really got to know what you're doing on that one. This one, you do as well. You still need to know what you're doing, but get away with it. This thing's a shredder. Man, riding this bike, the temptation to rip it is definitely there.
hard to drive this bike and not want to just... when you have a 131 at your disposal, there's only one thing you're supposed to do, and that's open it up, which I really haven't done. Oh, these videos, especially 131 videos, it's always trying to find the right line for you guys. That's, you know, when you watch it, you feel like you got what you wanted to see. You know, you feel like you got to see, you know, kind of a 131 just bopping around in Raleigh. But then when you're also watching it thinking to buy it, or you're my manager, you watch it, you don't watch it and you're like, man, like that guy is ragging on that bike. You know, you gotta find that right balance, find that right sweet spot. Give everybody what they want on it. That's interesting. Then of course local laws do apply, mostly. As tall as it is, it's still bringing it on around. It's got a lot of weight up high, but it's moving it just fine. The suspension, let's see. It really doesn't feel like it's diving too much either. That's one issue you get on some of these bikes too. They're really set up for comfort, and then when you go and give it that heavy braking up on the front, like you normally would if you're really ripping it, you still get a good bite. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, still get a good bite, and it's, you know, it's still moving very well, but this isn't diving so much. You know, some bikes, you know, especially if they have really good brakes and they're very you know, they have a lot of comfort suspension on the front, you'll just kind of touch the brake and it'll go. So we don't really want that, because we're going to be probably touching the brakes a little bit if we're going to be ripping this thing. So welcome to the beautiful riding season, where if you breathe too much, you can't see anything. Like that lovely Bronco. That's fancy. Carolina blue. Get that out of here. We're in Raleigh. It's gotta be red. Speaking of colors, look at this beautiful paint right here. This is a very custom orange. Looks like it's got a lot of flake in there. Some depth too, looks like. Neat. If you wanna... Oh, that's what I was also gonna say about the wheels. You know, the bronze looks good, you know, and black Low Riders also look fantastic. I love a black Harley-Davidson. Yeah, but now you're kind of at the point where, you know, it's popular. It's getting really popular. So then it's, you know, your go against the grain bike ends up being kind of what everyone else is running. So then it makes it even harder to really stand out. Make your bike really stand out like you want it. Dude, I could 100% get the wheel up on this very easily. Especially the top of that hill. That'd have been easy. All right, the visor a little bit. There we go. If I keep running this thing, we're gonna need gas here in just a second. My fingers are getting a little bit nippy. Old fairing and some hand guards wouldn't be bad. Now, as awesome as this bike is, there are two drawbacks to what this one does have. Is that it looks like this one used to have bags and a fairing on it. So, and it looks like the turn signals were on those. And motorcycles in North Carolina don't have to have turn signals because you got hands. So, but this one does not have turn signals. It's got the buttons for them, but there's no lights on the bike. So that's something you would have to get put on if you wanted them. But if you're ripping this thing, you really don't have. You'll be all right. You got a throttle. Stay in front of them. So just point where you're going. I'm going that way. Actually, I'm going that way. Don't want to give off the wrong signal here. So we got that going. There was another negative thing, but I'm getting wrapped up in all the fun stuff on this bike. That's one negative. I mean, if that's the only issue you have, it's a 131 Low Rider S. I mean, it's it's bumping. And also the nice part about it is this build, like most builds, are never really done. So this one's got all the big things you want, but there's still plenty of room. So if you don't like the paint, you know, you can get that fixed pretty easy. So that's an easy job. And it has the stock headlight too, so that's great. Especially, I really like the stock headlight kind of ripping around town. Because you really don't want to, at least for me, I really didn't want a super bright headlight, you know, going around town, like cruising through Raleigh, stuff like that. And it was bright enough. Now I did add some auxiliary lights, because I wanted the ability to really have a nice, you know, easy low beam, so that way I wasn't upsetting too many folks out on the road. But I could still, I had a switch I could flip where I could really get all the light that I needed. Oh yeah. Let's just see another curve here right quick. This is the end of our video, so thank you guys for riding along here with us. And this is your pre-owned bike of the week, this 2020 Harley-Davidson Low Rider S. If you want to know more about this bike, then be sure to come see us here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson. So in the meantime, ride safe. We hope to see you soon.